Y'all, when I made this, I hated it, but it is the funnest thing to squish. This is not what we're talking about today. We are doing a project. Let's see if it's still... Oh, ow. I have this. I also have these. I found fleece scraps at the craft store. There's dust and dog hair stuck to them already. Hello. I found these fleece... Okay. Roll it back. Hi there, Bastion here. Today I'm gonna make a tiny stuffed animal. I found fleece scraps at the craft store, and somewhere in my mess, literally have no idea where I put them. I have a polyfill? The little plastic beads that you put inside of stuffed animals. I'm gonna fill it with that. But let me show you. I'll show you the little picture right here of what we're making. Something really cool that I found out you can do. I kind of knew this was an option in the back of my mind, I guess. But if you go to Etsy, or I guess, maybe Amazon and other stuff kind of does it, you can buy downloadable patterns for lots of stuff. So I found some downloadable patterns for some stuffed animals. Guys, I am basically living in this sweater. This is the most comfortable. Anyway, so I downloaded a few different patterns. I downloaded a pattern for this little kitty cat. Isn't she just cute? And her pattern thing came with a dress. The dress didn't turn out as great because I had weird fabric and I wasn't prepared for making it. Like, let me just pull her dress up here. Like her little leggies and then her little tail just kind of hangs around. This is so cute. There's a lot of little imperfections on this because I was just doing a little practice thing. But then at another craft store, I also found super duper cheap pattern packs to buy. And I got one that was teddy bears. And I made this little guy. Also, a lot of imperfections, just because I wasn't trying super hard, because I was just practicing and seeing what I was doing. It's adorable. When I cut out the color, I thought I cut out for the belly to be pink, but instead I cut out for the middle of its forehead to be pink. But I'm not mad at it. It's not its fault. But it's very cute. I love this little guy, and its arms move. Like, how cute. I could have made its head move, but I didn't. So I have this pattern, this little cat and this little fox. And I found these little scraps, so I thought that I could test it out because I want to make stuffed animals with fleece. Because I think it's going to be way more comfortable, way cuter, and way floppier when I put the beads into it. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm probably going to hand sew this just because I don't feel like getting out my sewing machine. This will probably be way faster of a project if I did get out my sewing machine. Let's get started. Let's go. Let's just do it. All right. Look at how big this scrap is. That's a big old scrap. We're going to do the insides of the ears pink, and I kind of want to do the tail pink. And I'm just now realizing that you literally cannot see anything I'm doing on my desk.
Voiceover time, it's voiceover time. My original idea was to just talk to you while I did this, and then we could have a casual conversation. Wasn't that a Craigslist thing? No, anyway, I cut out all of the pieces, right? This was the easy part. The hard part about cutting out all the pieces is that sometimes you just cut them out wrong. There is a stretch to the fabric, and then also there is, in fact, a front and a back to the fabric. So watch where you're cutting and where you're placing and what's going on so that you don't end up with a face with half front and half back of fabric like I did. But we're not there yet. We're still cutting out the pieces. Excuse me, I just drank half of an energy drink and my stomach is dying right now. If I say one more time, somebody please punch me in the face. So we're now sewing everything together, and if you don't know, you have to sew everything together inside out so that you can flip it over right side in once it's sewn, so you don't see all the sewy things. And my favorite way to do that is to use the back of a paintbrush to shove it back right side out. Yes, right side out. But that was the least of my worries, especially on the head of this stuffed animal. I'm not gonna say it was difficult, but it wasn't easy. I had to figure out how to make sure the ears stayed like creased in the middle, which ultimately ended up making them look not how they were supposed to look. I think I just fumbled through the whole head of this piece, and I'm not sure why. It just didn't turn out how I thought it was going to turn out. You know?
I mean, it's cute, but it looks like a bunny. Why? Why is everything so hard?
See, the face really is cute. Once I put the little button eyes on it and stuffed it, definitely looked pretty adorable. Did not look like a cat, but you know, that's life. Sometimes you want to look like a cat, and you don't look like a cat. The next obstacle was the tail, which had difficulties of its own, because I was unsure how to put it into the body. You see, the directions for putting the stuffed animal together they were just weird, and I don't know if maybe I'm just not very good yet at reading sewing patterns. So along with this pattern, I gave myself extra work. I was not instructed to put any sort of beads inside of this, but I wanted it to be floppy. So I used like a little mesh bag and put beads in that, hoping that that was going to make it kind of like a little heavy stuffed animal floppy, but it did not. So I will tell you now, if you want a floppy stuffed animal, just throw the beads inside without putting them in a bag, because I don't know what I was thinking, but it's kind of obvious now that if you stuff the beads into a bag, you're just gonna have a hard bag stuffed animal thing that's not floppy. Can I say floppy enough? Either way, putting the bag in was difficult anyway, because I ended up making it a little bit too big, so I had to stretch the fabric around it, which also made it less floppy. And then I couldn't figure out how to put the tail in, and then I put it in the wrong way, so it just kind of looks like there's a third leg popping out its butt place. I don't know. Either way, it wasn't that difficult. I think I made it more difficult than it needed to be. So if you do this pattern, I promise you it's probably easier than I'm making it look. Yeah.
Wow, I look insane. We finished it! First, I have some issues with the pattern. That's something that would easily be fixable. After making it once, I know that I could make more of these and make them a little more improved and maybe easier to make. The pattern says to sew the head on at the end, but it probably would have been better had I not stuffed anything and just sewed the head on with the body and then turned it inside out. Because, I mean, doing it this way, it makes it a little less stable. The way that it said to put the tail in, I don't know if maybe, I don't know, something just went wrong. I know I was supposed to put this tail sideways and I accidentally put it this way, but it would have looked better had it been on top of the body instead of like between the two pieces of the body. But I do really like it. I think next time I would just put the beads loose inside the body to make it a little more floppy, because I like when the small stuffed animals like this are floppy. That being said, this fleece is perfect for these tiny stuffed animals. I love this. I have a fox version of this stuffed animal too, so I'm going to try that one. I have way too much fabric. I have tons of fabric to do these with, so yeah, don't worry. I think I'll have a video sometime soon of me just making like 400 of these and just popping them out like a production company. Construction? Anyway, this is cute, and this was fun, and this is something that is, I mean, pretty easy to do. Literally, all you have to do is follow the pattern and then stuff it. Anybody could do this. And I did it by hand, so that's that too. So if you want a bunch of adorable little tiny stuffed animals, I'll have a link to the Etsy pattern that I got just in case you want this. That was fun. That was a fun little project. I had fun doing that. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content. I make videos every Wednesday and Saturday. I make reaction videos on Wednesday, art videos on Saturday. If you like me, like this video. If you don't like me, leave a hate comment. And I'll put all my social media stuff in the description box below. So, that's that. I guess. Right? I love you, bye! Oh. Why?